Today, we are going to talk about Dynamics 365 Sales. Really incredible functionality in this application. We're going to talk about some of the AI functionality, machine learning functionality that's been built into Dynamics, just a powerhouse of a sales CRM. So we're just waiting for a few. I see a couple here in the lobby that are still coming in. So I wanted to give them just a little bit here to get logged in, and then we'll start the demo. So just pause for a couple seconds here, and then I'll be back and we'll get started. All right, looks like we've got a great group here today. See some familiar names here. So hello to everybody that I've spoken to before. And if not, I hope to get the opportunity to speak to you soon. We're going to talk about how you can just go right to our website and schedule a call with one of our CRM experts. I joined some of those calls. So hope to see you on another demo as well, and possibly even on a call that you schedule right off our website. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned, today in this session, we're covering the Dynamics 365 Sales module. We also have demonstrations that you can register and attend for the marketing automation modules or apps in Dynamics, as well as the customer service module as well. So just go to our website, go under CA Demo, and you'll see those sessions. You can register for those and join us on one of those sessions as well. But today, we're talking all about sales. So let's go ahead and get started. Give me a second just to get my screen switched over and share it out on the session here. Let's start with just a quick overview of the user interface here of the Dynamics 365 Sales Hub application. So you've got a global search up at the top that searches across a number of different entities. You can set up entities that you'd like to be incorporated in search. Common ones are lead, contact, account, probably opportunity, maybe quote, things like that. And it does a great job of searching. So let me just do an Alex search here. So I'll type Alex and it follows me along. So as I type, I can see that it is changing as I type, right? So it's helping me kind of like a Google search where it's following you along. I can either select a record right from this list, or I have some quick actions over here like email a link or assign the record, or I can go into just the full search results and then look at the search results by entity, right? So here's the top results, the most criteria that met my search, right? I have leads, I have contacts, I have emails, appointments, opportunities, etc. Now you won't see entities that it didn't find any matching data. So if quote was set up, for example, to be included in search, and there were no records that were in quote area of the system that met my search criteria, then I wouldn't see it here. Okay. So really strong search. Once you have narrowed down the record that you're looking for, you can either open up the record, or again, you've got some quick actions that you have right from here. You can click on the email address, send an email, etc. You can also click on the phone number. If you have either either Teams Voice, which is what we here at Strava use for our telephone system, or another integrated telephony product. RingCentral has an integration to Dynamics, as do a lot of other telephony systems. Then you can just click on that number there, and it will pop up a dialer. So for Teams Voice, it would pop up the Teams Voice dialer, dial that phone number for you, and click the dial. We'll also do screen pop when somebody calls you, that based on the number matching a caller ID number matching the record in Dynamics, that it will pop up the contact record that is ringing in, and you can answer that call right through Dynamics 365. You can record the call. You can have an automatic transcript created for the call, and a number of other features that we won't be covering in this demo, but we have another previous demo we did on the integration between Dynamics and Teams Voice. Really, really strong, great integration between Dynamics and Teams Voice. On the left-hand side, you'll see that I have my Teams chats. My Teams chats are the exact same chats that I have if I opened up my Teams application. It's just showing them to me right in Dynamics, so I don't have to switch windows to chat with other people, either on my team or even externally. I can just do it right within Dynamics. I can also link chats to records in Dynamics. So if I opened up a lead record here, and I was doing a chat with somebody on the team, and I wanted to link that chat to the contact or lead record or even account record, opportunity record, really any record, then I can click here and start a new chat. And I can type in the person's name I want to chat with and have a chat with them. It will send them a preview of the record. So it'll say Dave Buggy is trying to chat with you about Alex Baker, and it lists a couple fields from the lead or contact profile. So they know before they even start chatting with you what it is you want to discuss and what record and dynamics that you want to discuss. Again, really, really nice feature. Down from that over here is the dialer. So this is the phone integration with Teams Voice. So if I had an incoming call, it would pop up on my screen. I could answer it. The call would show up in this window, and I could hit the record button and do transfers and mute things like that right from here. Or I could simply dial out from here. I could either click the number button, or I could just use the dialer here to manually dial a phone number and dial right out of Dynamics using Teams Voice, the telephone system portion of Teams. Finally, up top is the AI Copilot. So this is gaining in terms of capabilities and features, as well as in just popularity, right? AI, if you're not using it today, you're really missing out. It's kind of one of those things. I heard somebody describe it the other day, and I thought it was a great way to describe it, is that, do you remember the days where some people didn't embrace email? And maybe they had, a staff member printing out emails and bringing them to them, and telling them how to reply to them. So yeah, that was probably a long time ago, right? Some of you may not even remember back that far. Got dating myself, but kind of the same here, that if you don't start embracing AI, you are definitely going to be left behind. AI, we're using it every day here at Strava for lots of different things. Composing emails, writing marketing content, looking up information, asking questions about Dynamics or Power CRM. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Even writing code is being done today through things like ChatGPT. So Microsoft has released a Sales Copilot that you have access to if you're on the Sales Enterprise license of Dynamics. It shows up right here. It also shows up right within your Microsoft Outlook. So it'll help you identify relevant information related to, let's say, an email that you're on in Outlook. It'll help you compose a reply, compose a new email, etc. So some really nice features. And what it's doing here is it's giving me an automatic summary of the lead, Alex Baker. And it's doing that by consuming the data from this record in the database and then summarizing the things that are likely most important. And I got to tell you, it does a fantastic job of understanding what would be most important of all the data underneath in this record. So really good summary here. And it's showing me that, for example, that there was the lead was created on a certain date, that the lead was associated to an account, that there's annual revenue in this company of $3 million. It would show that there's 2 open opportunities linked to this particular lead in this case. The stakeholder associated with the lead is Cameron Roth. I could go on and on and on. And then I could ask it questions either about the data right under this record. I could ask it to show me recent changes for this record. So I could click on that and hit enter, and it'll go and it will show me recent changes. That feature is actually turned off in this demo. But I could also do things like write me an email for this particular lead. So I could say, write a quote email, and it would go and it would allow me to generate some AI-based content for an email that I might want to send to this particular lead. So I could call it maybe a sales follow-up email, something like that. I could choose from these suggestions here. I could summarize the lead, prepare for an upcoming meeting, hit enter, and then I don't have any appointments today, or it would read my calendar and tell me, hey, here's the appointments and here's the summaries. I have no appointment scheduled with this particular lead. That's why it's not showing me anything. But I won't spend too much time on that. You can definitely find some more information. We did an entire training on the Sales Copilot in Dynamics that if you'd like access to that, just let us know. Email us at sales@StravaTechGroup.com, Strava, TECH group.com. sales.com, and we'll be happy to point you to that. Again, a pretty in-depth demo on the Sales Copilot. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off and continue with our tour of the user interface. So next down would be dashboards, right? Dashboards, super helpful. These are some inbuilt dashboards just using the Dynamics dashboard tool. You can also embed Power BI based dashboards right inside of Dynamics as well, and take it up several levels, right? Power BI is kind of level 1000 dashboards. These are kind of level, 100, okay? But they're very useful for non-complex dashboarding needs, right? So at a glance here, I've got to look at my open opportunities by stage, my pipeline. I've got my leads by source. I've got new notifications that I might need to be aware of. I've got my open opportunities. I've got my closed opportunities, a list of activity. So it doesn't just have to be dashboard charts, but you can have lists of records and much, much more. And they're interactive. So if I wanted to, for example, narrow this pipeline down and see the opportunities that are in a certain portion of the pipe, then I could do a drill down, and I could drill down by any one of these fields. I'll say account, and click a certain chart, and I could drill down, right? So you can drill down and drill through these dashboard charts that you see on the screen here. Next would be the account record. So accounts in Dynamics are companies, okay? And a company can be a prospect. We'll talk about lead in a moment. When a lead gets qualified, they're still not yet a customer typically. So they go from lead to a prospect account and an opportunity. An account could be a customer account. An account could be a partner, a vendor, a supplier, or any other company that you have any type of business relationship with, your attorney, law firm, things like that. So this is the account records area of the system. We'll go into that a little bit later. Then you have your contacts, which are the people. Typically, they're associated with accounts. So I can see here at a glance the list of my contacts and what company they're associated with. So there are two different tables, accounts and contacts, and then a contact is typically related or regarded to an account. Okay, and you can have one or as many contacts under an account as you like. Then we have our leads. So we talked about prospect accounts. Typically ahead of a prospect account, you might have a lead. So normally we're recommending today that the leads area be used by marketing and that the accounts area be used by sales. So marketing is maintaining the leads. And when there is a lead that shows some interest, they contact you, they reply to a marketing email and say, call me, I'm interested. Whatever, that kind of qualification criteria is to go from a lead to a prospect, marketing typically is taking an action on that to promote it to a prospect account. And that is the handoff then to sales. Okay. And that could be part of the business process flow or the sales process here in the lead. So this is a graphical point and click type of sales process tool that runs on just about any type of record in Dynamics, but this one is our lead to opportunity process. So here we're in current stage is qualify. So it's my qualification. When I finish my qualification, I can go to the next stage, which is to develop this particular lead, and then go to propose, which would move it forward to an opportunity. So it would qualify the lead and create an opportunity, and then to close. You can tailor these and customize these business process flows to match your own process. But it might be part of that process that marketing is the first stage, and then marketing then would promote it to a prospect account, hand it off to sales, and sales would then pick up at the qualify stage and go through qualification. Okay. So then you have your opportunities, your sales pipeline. We'll cover that. We also have our competitors that we're tracking. That probably won't be covered today, but certainly there's information out on our website about that. And then quotes, orders, invoices, and goal management down here, as well as some sales forecasts. So we're going to only be able to cover kind of the core areas of sales today. It's a lot of functionality here, and I don't think you'd probably want to sit here for 4 hours or more. So we'll leave it to the highlights for today. And then some of these other topics are covered in videos that we have or other demo sessions that you can register for and attend. So normally I like to take a day in the life of concept for demonstrations and show the way that I work in the Dynamics 365 system every day and the way that our sales team works in Dynamics 365 every day. So we start on the Sales Accelerator area of Dynamics. Sales Accelerators are a really powerful feature in Dynamics that, based on rules and things that sales management sets up, it will automatically prioritize your leads. In this case, it's prioritizing it by lead. The lead score is one area that it's using to prioritize a lead. It's also prioritizing because I have an open call scheduled for this lead that's due today. So that's in this particular lead, that's why this one is popped up here to close to the top of the list, is for those reasons. But you can base your criteria for these sales accelerators on your own criteria. Okay. But I think a lot of them would probably be similar to what we're using here. Maybe the lead score, we use lead scoring, very, very effective. That's, integrated with the marketing tools that we use in Dynamics. Again, topic for a different demo, marketing. But as people interact with our marketing, they open our emails, they click on links, they visit our site, etc. Then as they perform those actions automatically are increasing the score for the leader contact in my dynamic system. And when it gets to a certain score, ours is a score of 50, then we consider that sales ready. And we have a workflow in the background that when they hit a score of 50 or higher, that the salesperson that owns the record, either a leader or a contact, is notified, and an activity is scheduled for the leader contact for the sales rep to reach out. That way we're making it actionable and accountable that the salesperson reach out. And the thought behind that is they're very active with our marketing. So that shows interest, right? Now they may not be picking up the phone and calling you, but they definitely show interest. So if you made proactive contact with them, then you have a good chance of getting into a conversation and even taking that lead, further and qualifying it. So we use that every day. It's super effective. And again, topic for a different demo, the marketing demo you can register for on our website as well. So Alex Baker here is at the top of my list. And I can see in the Alex Baker lead, first of all, I can see that, again, they have a lead score of 93. And the reasons why the lead score in this case has been elevated to 93 and a grade of A, and it shows me that it's been improving recently, which is great information to know. The reason that it's at the score it's at currently is that the purchase time frame has been set on the lead to this quarter. The decision maker has been identified, so that's part of our qualification criteria, is to identify the decision maker, and that there's been a budget established that meets our budget range for our new prospects, right? So this is the reasons here why the lead score is where it is. You can click on details, you can see it over time, and look at some background information about each of the kind of KPIs that drive the lead score here. So I see my lead score. I also see who knows whom is a little widget, let's call it, that tells me the people in my organization that know this person, or people in my LinkedIn network that know this person. And I can ask for an introduction right through this little widget here. So if I'm dealing with a lead that I don't have any traction with and I haven't had any interaction with, but I'd like to, then that's a great way. It shows that data has shown that getting introduced by somebody that's a common connection between you and the lead would give you a much higher likelihood of being able to get in contact with that lead. Okay. So then I can look at the timeline and I can see, well, what's happening with this particular record over time. The timeline contains all of the historical activities and notes and things about this record. So I can see that there's been some email back and forth, whether it's between me, the salesperson for this account, or this lead, or someone else. It's all going to end up on the timeline. I can see activities like appointments, tasks, phone calls, etc. Even notes and document attachments I can see right here on the timeline as well. And I can do filtering to only see, let's say, maybe I only want to look at emails. Okay. And that would then filter the timeline down to only those type of records. I also have the assistant here on my lead record. The assistant is kind of like an AI powered underlying assistant, AI powered assistant in Dynamics that will tell you things that it thinks are important for you to know, in this case, about this lead record. Okay. So it's telling me here that there's been interest established with this lead for some IoT sensors that we might be able to sell them for the coffee machines that either they use or they make. Okay. And that's what that is. And I could click into it and even get a little more information here on that reminder if I'd like. Okay. So from there, typically where I'm going is I'm going to do a scan of the lead and just see what's happening, right? If I'm not already familiar with what's going on with this lead, I'll bring myself up to date very quickly. And then I'm typically going to go and work on any activity that is showing up here in the up next. Okay. So it's the next chronologically scheduled activity that's on this record. In this case, it looks like we have a first call scheduled. And then we have a couple emails and some other things down here that we can act on as well. So from here, if I have the Teams voice integration or another telephony integration, I can click call here and it would go out and it would dial that through my Teams voice system, which it's trying to do in the background. So we're going to go ahead and kill that. Or I can, when I get on the phone with them, I can pull up this activity. I could snooze it if I don't get a hold of them. I could assign this to another person on my team, or I could go into it, take some notes, and even complete it right here from the up next widget on the record. Really, really, really powerful, simple functionality that salespeople love. Simple. I'm in sales, so I'm going to talk about myself. I don't like complicated software. And therein lies kind of the line that you walk with CRM tools is ease of use versus complexity and power, right? In terms of the application. Microsoft is doing a great job of balancing that line really well with tools like the Sales Accelerator. And there's more that you can do with the Sales Accelerators, but that's what kind of we're going to cover for today. But there's some other great functionality in the Sales Accelerator. So when we start our day, this is where we start. We go down our work list and we go kind of top to bottom. And we'll either, again, we'll snooze some things. We might push some things out to another day. Once I try and reach this Alex Baker, if I don't reach them, I'll snooze it, right? And then I'll go to the next one. And the next one is Haley. And it looks like I am due to respond to an email here. And it's suggesting that I email and request an appointment. So there's some AI generated content here that's really helpful as well. That it's telling me based on what's going on with this record that it recommends that I send an email and I ask to schedule an appointment. Okay. Again, really powerful functionality that I got to tell you is super accurate. I find that what it recommends here is in all likelihood a good next step. So they've done just an amazing job of the AI side of this being really, really relevant and not just kind of whiz bang features. Let me show you another really great feature. If you do have the Teams voice, again, the area of Teams that you use for a business telephone system, it's what we use at Strava. The integration goes to another level, right? So, or if you're interested in using Teams voice, we can help you onboard the voice portion of Teams as well and switch over from a current phone system. We've done some very big rollouts of that functionality for clients across the country. But what you get when you have that Teams voice integration is, as I said, some really powerful functionality. One of them is called call summaries. Call summaries are when you're using the Teams voice integration in Dynamics, then it is can automatically record calls, or you could make that up to the salesperson if they want to record it. If the call is recorded, it automatically creates a transcript of the call. It can automatically track sentiment, right? So if there's negative sentiment, it will flag that. You can even have a workflow that, for example, if there's negative sentiment, then the sales manager gets notified, and that then he would or she would review that call with the salesperson to see, what's happening there. An example, right? You could have your own workflow. But another great feature of the Teams voice integration are these call summaries with detection of keywords. So you tell it what keywords that you'd like to have flagged whenever they're mentioned in a recorded phone call, and it will automatically point those out in a call summary. Okay. So here's our call summary. And what this call summary is showing me here is that it was a lead follow-up phone call that was performed, right? It was recorded. So I have a transcript. So you can see it's literally verbatim, every word that was discussed. And it is super, super accurate in terms of translating voice to text, amazingly accurate. So it tells me everything that was said here, and this is all journaled in the database, so I can even do querying and searching on things that were mentioned in a phone call. Over here are the tags that it identified as being mentioned on this call. These could be, again, they could be competitor names. They could be certain keywords like it has here, like deal closing, good opportunity, good pricing, bad pricing, too expensive, things like that. And it automatically flags those keywords in any recorded phone call. Then down here, it's showing you where some of these are mentioned. And it's also showing me any sentiment issues here as well. So we don't have that fully enabled here, so I won't talk too much about that. It wouldn't make sense. But I could play the recording right from here. So when I click play, it would be playing. I won't be hearing it because I'm on my headset. Actually, it is coming through my speakers. You won't hear it, but it's now following the transcript, and the recording is kind of synced up here, you can see, right? So it is following along and allowing me really easily to scan this particular recording and even jump to a certain place in the recording. So for example, if I pause this and I scroll down in the transcript and I want to go to this area, live demonstration, I can click on it and it takes me right to that area, and I can hit play and it will start reading me the actual recording. Okay. You also have, you can take notes here on any action items, things like that. It also can automatically identify action items. And again, it does just a brilliant job of this. So let's say that I'm on a sales call and I say, I'll send you that product information after our call. The system is smart enough to know that that's an action item, and it will automatically create that action item on this call summary so I don't forget, right, that I have to send that product info that I promised. Okay. Just amazing stuff here. And I'm telling you, this stuff works really, really well. This is not pie in the sky, stuff that you try and use and it just doesn't work. We use this every day. So over here's the action items tab. And it's looking like it has an email that he was going to send me, or I was going to send him. I guess it's me sending him an email. That I must have mentioned in that call somewhere that I was going to send an email right here, actually. So I clicked on it and it took me right to that portion. So here's the customer, and I'm Jeremy Johnson. Sorry, I forgot who I was for a moment there. And the verbatim talk track here was that I'll send you the invite and you can forward it to her, right? So it automatically flagged that as an action item and is now going to be actionable in the system so that I don't forget that I promised to send this email out. Just brilliant functionality. And then finally, we have the mentions tab, which is where you see things that were mentioned and the key based on the keywords that are set up to be tracked. So you could see that there were competitors that were mentioned, really helpful. Down here are the keywords that we're tracking, right? We set those keywords up. It literally is a 1-second process to add a keyword, but they have to be added. And then anytime they're mentioned, they'll show up here. And you can even click on them and it'll take you right to that point in the transcript and the recording as to when that was mentioned. Right. So you've got people that were mentioned and prices that were mentioned. So if I click on that, I can go to that point in the recording or the transcript and it will show me exactly how that was mentioned in the phone call. Again, I just absolutely love this functionality and use it every single day. All right, let's go to the relationship analytics tab. This is a system generated, AI generated information here that tells me about the relationship that we have with this particular record. In this case, it's Haley. She's a lead. So I won't read all this verbatim, but it's telling me some really key information here, such as we've invested so much time, more time in this particular lead than others, right? We don't have any closed emails in this particular record, which might be something that would be important. Tells me how our relationship is. Is it good, fair, declining, increasing, et cetera, or improving? It's telling me when any next activity is scheduled for, and it's telling me the last activity with a link right to those here as well. Okay. Down here, it's showing me the contacts at this particular company, even though they may be in a separate lead record or contact record. It's showing me those here. So these are kind of connected people, right, that I need to be aware of if I'm going to sell to this particular organization. Down here are any colleagues that are participating in this particular record, right? They might have activities that are on this record, like emails they may have sent. Maybe this is somebody in our support team that is interacting with this particular lead. That wouldn't be true necessarily, right? Because it would have to be a contact. In some cases, in some companies, you do support prospects. In our company, they have to be a customer. And then you've got other interactions here, activities that have happened. How much time you've invested in trying to qualify or engage this lead. No email engagement info, but if there was, it would show you here, like emails that were sent, were they open, were they clicked, things like that. All really helpful, relevant information. And I could just scroll across this bar here, and it would show me more analysis about this particular lead record and the relationship. So that's where we spend in terms of our day to day. Everything kind of bubbles up here to the Sales Accelerator in my work list, whether it's activities attached to a contact, to an account, to an opportunity. Maybe you have a follow up activity on a quote. Thing. It all centralizes here in my work list, which is absolutely phenomenal. Just so easy to use. I just literally go top to bottom on this work list every day and very effectively manage what I need to be doing every day in terms of my activities and follow-ups and so forth. So at this point, you'd be working to try and get in touch with, let's say, a lead. So we go back up here to one of our leads, either Alex or Haley, working through our sales process, doing our qualification. And when we do have a qualified lead, right? We've gotten through our qualification. The next step typically is that you qualify that lead, which turns the lead into an opportunity. It also turns the lead into a prospect, account, and a contact. So it takes the lead and creates three connected records: an account or company record, a contact record, and an opportunity record. And you can choose whether you want the opportunity or not. If you're not ready for an opportunity, you just uncheck that when the pop-up comes up. So from there, I'm going to go down into our opportunities, which is the next area that we're going to talk about here. So in my opportunities, what I see on the screen here is dictated by the view that I have selected. So you can see there's a lot of different views here. The default being my open opportunities. If I was a sales manager, VP of sales, I might want to look at all open opportunities. Or I can drill down here and look at lost opportunities and lots of other specific lists of opportunities, like one opportunities, et cetera. I also have opportunities by relationship health, right? So I'm looking at my opportunities now, and it's telling me that the relationship with the underlying contact, right, that's noted on the opportunity, whether it's poor, fair, good, et cetera, and whether it's steady, improving, declining, which is a really helpful metric to know, right? And that's driven off things like activities. So if you have an opportunity and you have it forecasted to close in a somewhere in the near future, if you have no activities happening with that opportunity, chances are it's not going to close, right? That's just kind of simple sales. Is that when somebody is going to buy something, particularly if you're selling things that are larger, kind of dollar opportunities, there's activity happening if it's going to close. Okay, so those relationship scores are really handy to know whether an indicator of whether an opportunity is likely to close or not. Because again, certainly in our business, if we don't have activity happening and the opportunity is scheduled to close within a month, and there's no activity happening, I can tell you that probably is not going to close. It's kind of inactive at that point. So that would be something I look at in looking at our opportunities, based on how the sales rep has them forecasted. Are they forecasting them truthfully? And that's one thing I look at is the relationship health and the activity that's happening or not happening. Can also see over here how much time I've spent in hours on each one of these opportunities. So that's, as I have the record open and I'm working on the opportunity and I'm managing activities and writing emails, it's capturing that time and it's telling me how much time I've invested. There's just lots of great downstream reporting that we can do here. You can also look at this in lots of different perspectives. If you have a low scored opportunity, right, the relationship is poor, but it's scheduled to close, it's at a high probability, and there's not much time spent here, then that's an indication that probably that's not going to close. And I would work with the sales rep to say, why are you spending a lot of time here? I think you could spend your time elsewhere, like on this opportunity here that's showing, a better score. Okay, now this data isn't real, right? So you have to take the data with a grain of salt. And what I mean by that is you have something that's improving here. We've only spent 0.3 hours on it. Does that make sense? Maybe not, but it's just demo data. Okay, so I can change my view. I can look at our won opportunities, for example, and take a look at what business we've won. If I'm a regular salesperson, I might not see others' opportunities. That's just how you set up your security. It's up to each individual client. Let's go back to my open opportunity. Actually, let me show you one other opportunity view here that we can provide our clients. So it's something that we've created called a Kanban view. This has become a really, really popular view that clients request that we put in their system for them because it allows you to work in a Kanban fashion. So let me show you what that looks like here. I'll go back to my open opportunities, which is here. And then I'm going to go up here and change the show as to Kanban. And what that's going to do is it's going to create this really nice Kanban board view based on our opportunity sales process and allow me to drag my opportunities through the different steps. So I could drag an opportunity from qualified to develop to propose. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like I have this fully set up in this particular system, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But there we go. So that's a view of it. So I could take these and I could drag them into the different swim lanes here in the Kanban view. There's a lot of sellers that love the way that this works, right? Instead of opening up the opportunity and manually progressing kind of using the business process flow, that they can come here and drag these into their different stages in their sales process, or in this case by status, right? So I'm dragging it from open to won or open to lost. Okay, but Kanban view is something that we've seen gain in popularity over the last number of years, and this is an area of the system that we've developed that we can provide our clients. We actually provide this at no charge amongst a lot of other really nice enhancements that we've made to Dynamics. If you partner with us to implement your Dynamics system, or if you go on a support agreement, we call it a level up agreement. It's monthly support and managed services. Then we provide you these tools at no cost. Okay, let's go back to our regular view here. So I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to change it to pipeline view. This is another really nice view that I find pretty helpful when I'm analyzing pipeline. So it's given me just a different visual here of my opportunities in the pipeline and some helpful information. So it's telling me our total pipeline value. That's in I believe it's British pounds, if I'm not mistaken. But you get the idea. How many deals are in the pipeline? What deals we've won? What deals we've lost? Again, just demo data. And I could just hover over these, and it tells me a bit of summary about that particular opportunity. And it has them organized by date here, right, in the view that I'm looking at. So it's showing me kind of where they would estimated date of where they would close. I could pull that down. I could you look at it differently. I could look at a list if I wanted to. And then below that is all the individual opportunity records. So I can interact with those down here as well. Or I can click one up here, and it gives me the summary over on the right here of the details of that opportunity without ever even having to open the opportunity record. So again, really, really nice feature in the system. So let's go back here and let's go to back to our opportunities. And I'm going to look at the list view called the grid view. There's also a probability that's automatically scored by the system. So you can set up your parameters for how to score opportunities. It's called predictive scoring. So in our system, the ways that we have our system predicting the probability are things like, again, is there activity happening within a certain period, right, of the close date? If there is, it scores it higher. If there isn't, it scores it lower. Okay. It also is looking at the historical opportunity data and looking for it's machine learning, right? So it's looking for patterns in the data. For example, how many activities were performed on opportunities that we won versus opportunities that we lost, and it will use that in the scoring, right? So if the data shows that if we have 5 or more activities on an opportunity, the likelihood we'll close it goes up, right? Then it will start using that in the scoring for open opportunities. And there's lots of other, you can set up a lot of different criteria for how the opportunities are scored and how that predictive scoring works. But that's just a couple examples and ideas. Okay, so let me open up one of these opportunities. Let's go to this one here. So again, you can have a sales process show up here in the top portion, just like we looked at on lead. I don't believe we have one on this particular record, so I won't go through that here, but it would just pick up at that propose stage. So when you got to the propose stage of the lead, it would automatically qualify that lead, again, to an account, contact, and opportunity. And then the process would pick up here in the opportunity record. And the stages are probably propose, maybe send proposal, get feedback might be another phase, and then close, won, or lost, right? That might be the next couple stages that happen in the sales process flow. So let me go out and actually choose a different opportunity here. I want one with a little bit more data. So let me choose this top one here. So when I open up the opportunity, so all these screens that you see, by the way, we would tailor to your individual needs and requirements, right? So there's some things that are just need to be there, like estimated close date, estimated revenue, things like that. But all the other fields are really up to you. We're absolutely firm believers in proper qualification at the lead level and at the opportunity level. So one thing that you won't see in here is a qualification tab. We typically will create that and strongly recommend that our clients use qualification at both the lead and the opportunity level, possibly even at the quote level as well. But certainly at lead and opportunity. So just know that you're not seeing kind of everything here. But again, it's a demo system. So we've got, some overview information, a brief description of the opportunity, who's our key contact, what account is that opportunity under, or what account does this Jacqueline belong to, purchase time frame, budget amount, their purchase process. Right now it's a pipeline stage. So we have a really unique, very effective forecasting methodology that we've developed in Dynamics. And we have just a couple of different stages that's all that we ask the salesperson to update is the estimated revenue, the estimated close date, and the forecast category. Most of these systems give you a probability field. I've never seen that be accurate at all. If you're just arbitrarily letting the salespeople set a probability that's not tied to anything, it typically is just really completely useless. The amount of times that I've seen opportunities that are in the 80-90% range, and you start asking the question of, well, who's going to approve the purchase at your prospect? Well, I'm not sure. Do you have a quote out to them? No, not yet. Well, how do you have it at 80 or 90% if they don't even have pricing yet? That's kind of the concept that I'm driving at here. So we typically don't use probability. We just don't feel like it makes any sense unless we tie it to the sales process that would be up top here, right? So, for example, let's say that the latter part, the stages of your opportunity here is propose, which means put together a proposal, get pricing, that we might have around the 40-50% when you're in that stage. When you advance it then to, proposal sent as the stage, then it might go to 50%. The next stage might be, receive positive feedback, or just receive feedback and understand what the feedback is on the proposal. And if it's positive, move it to 60, et cetera, down to a close, right, at 100%. If you're tying the probability to something like a stage in your sales process, then it can be very effective and very accurate. Otherwise, we just don't recommend using a probability field at all if you're just going to let the sales team set it arbitrarily. So we've built our own forecasting methodology that has a simple forecast category field. And our category values are pipeline, which means it's not really able to be forecasted yet. It's early in the stage. Then we have our best case category, which is we're not going to, say it's going to close within the estimated close date, and it would be best case if it did, right? Then we have commit. Commit is the account manager committing that this opportunity is going to close. So they've done everything properly. They've run their process. They've gotten through, proposal. They got positive feedback. They've got a verbal, maybe on the proposal. They're just waiting for it to be signed. That would be commit. Excuse me. Then we have omitted, which means that it was omitted from the forecast, which, you might want to have a discussion about those omitted opportunities. Why did that happen? Are we, not qualifying properly? Things like that. And then we have closed won, closed lost. And that's been super, super effective for our clients at really just making forecasting pretty simple. So we also, like we did on lead, or like we saw on lead, we have the timeline. The timeline are the activities and notes and things that have been journaled to this opportunity. Your emails are coming typically into Outlook, and you're connecting the opportunity in Outlook to a certain record in Dynamics. It can do that automatically by email address. So by email address, it would automatically be able to associate an email with a lead or a contact. If you want to associate it to something like an opportunity, you just do that really easily in your Outlook. It's really, really simple to do. In fact, we'll have a quick demo on that. I believe it's out on our videos library. But anyway, that's how the emails would get here. The other way that an email would get here is that you can just send an email right from inside of any Dynamics record. And that would automatically go to the timeline of the right record. And then any replies in that would automatically journal to the right record timeline, right? Because it's already linked to that particular record. Okay, so these are all the activities that are journaled, either open or closed, on this particular opportunity record. The rule in our business is that if you have an open lead, an open opportunity, an open quote, or an active customer account assigned to you, there has to be an activity on the record for whatever the next step is. Okay. And think about it. If you don't, what's happening? Well, the record will just sit there stagnant. Everybody's busy, right? And the problem is that typically in sales, they're reacting to whatever's crossing their desk or their inbox at any one point in time, right? And they're not really thinking strategically in some cases about where should I be spending my time. And active customer accounts are one area that we see our customers needing some help in terms of defining a process for that and requirements for how an account manager manages an active account record, right? Because they're the ones that are keeping the lights on, and they have to be managed properly so you don't have attrition, right? And lose customers and lose revenue. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we get to accounts. I don't want to go too far off base here. The next item over is the opportunity score. That's the automatic scoring or the machine learning scoring that's happening underneath the covers here based on those parameters that I talked about a few minutes ago. In this case, it's telling me that the opportunity score for this is 78 out of 100. So that's a pretty good opportunity score. Of course, being in sales, I'd love to see all of them in the 90s and 98 and 99. But it's telling me based on the rules that we have set up for the opportunity predictive scoring that right now it's at a 78, and I can hit the details and I can see how it's improving over time and even what's causing it to improve or decline. And then I've got my reminders. We talked about that before. So these are system generated items that the system feels like I should be aware of. So they're notifications about this opportunity. I've got relationship health, which I don't have any data there. Again, just a demo system. So with an opportunity, your account managers are managing that out. Hopefully they're managing the opportunity proactively, and they're trying to get that to a close. Okay. So at the end, there's only two outcomes. Although I say in sales, there's unfortunately usually three outcomes to an opportunity. There's that you win the opportunity, that you lose the opportunity, or unfortunately, the third outcome is it just sits there forever. Nobody's updating it. Your forecasting data becomes completely useless, right? So that's the reason that we establish rules, and we recommend that our customers establish rules for the sales team on what type of follow-up they are required to do on a record like an opportunity, a lead, a quote, and even a customer account. Okay, so not a topic we can go into too deeply here, but we do work with each of our clients through those processes, which are all the things that most other providers don't talk with their clients about. They don't counsel them on the process side and, the accountability side and, what is the specific requirements for how an account manager manages an opportunity. They leave that all to the customer to figure out. And unfortunately, that leads to the big failure rate that you see in the CRM space. So we've been doing this a long time, 20 plus years of experience. And we're very effective at putting in a CRM system and building it, designing it so it will be successful. Okay, so again, we can talk about that. If you'd like to schedule a call, you can go right to our website, stravatechgroup.com. There's many pages out there that have a link right to our calendar that you can schedule a call and talk to one of our CRM experts about your individual implementation project. Okay, so the next item would be quote, right? So an opportunity you can manage to close, and you might not be doing quoting in Dynamics. However, we use the quoting module in Dynamics. It really is pretty fantastic. It's improved so dramatically over the years that if it was 5 years ago, I'd tell you, the quoting module is probably not that great. Today, I will tell you it's excellent. So on an opportunity, you can have quotes for that opportunity. So you can create your quote right from the opportunity, and it gets linked to the opportunity, and you can have revisions, right? It has a revision process. I don't have any quotes on this opportunity, but we'll jump down to quotes here in a moment. So just know that from an opportunity, you can also incorporate quoting as part of the opportunity as well. Okay, so let's go down to quotes. I'm going to go ahead and click on quotes. And I've only got a couple quotes here. Again, just demo data, right? So we'll go ahead and open up one of these quotes and take a look at it. So this one happens to be a quote that was won. It was a total of $500. It was for our customer Contoso Coffee, and it gives the date and so forth. So let's go ahead and open that quote up. Quotes, underlying from quotes are your products and your price lists, a little bit more than we can get into today, but you can have different price lists that have different prices for the same item, right? So you might have a quantity-based price list that if they buy, 1 to 5, it's one price. If they buy 6 to 10, it's a slightly lower price, etc. You could have a retail price list. You could have a distributor price list. You could have lots of different price lists that have the same items and different prices on them. You can even have account-based price list, right? So if you negotiate certain discounted pricing for a certain customer, then you can just create a price list that has those discounted prices. You attach the price list to the account, and it automatically then is set on opportunities and quotes. So you're quoting the right pricing for the items based on that, negotiated pricing. So again, a little bit more than we could go into at that level, but to walk you through a quote, we've got our quote here. And also within the system, we've got our products database. Not sure how many products we have in here. We have good amount in here. So the products then are the base products, and the products have, the product, the description, the unit of measure, whether it's time-based like hours of services, whether it's each, etc. What the default price list is for this particular item, how many decimals are on this particular item. So can you sell 1.2 of these items or not, right? So that's kind of what that does. Is it returnable? Yes or no? And a lot of other information in here. And then the price list is where the price of the item actually is set. Okay. So in here, you have your cost. You might have your vendor you buy it from, things like that. Then you have this product on a price list or many price lists, and that's where the actual price is set, is on the price list. Okay. So it's a really good product database here, and there's a lot more to the product database. You can have products that are bundle products, go together type products, a hierarchy of products. So just a little bit more than we can go into here. But here's the item on a price list. Here it would show you all the price lists that this item is on. And in this case, it's only on one price list, and it's a price of $899. Okay. So if there were more price lists here, you'd see the price lists and you'd see the price of that item on each of the price lists. Okay. You can have relationships between products, parent-child. As I said, you can have bundle type of products where you're taking 2 or 3 products or as many as you want, creating one product that contain all 2, 3, 5, 10 of those items into a bundle. So you don't forget that when you sell let's say a dishwasher, that you want to sell the hookup, electrical hookup with it, or the water hose with it. So that's kind of, how the bundles are used. All right, so let's go back to our quote. Let's open up our quote, go to this draft one here. And it doesn't seem like there's any products on this. And in this demo system, I can't go add products. That's locked in this demo system, unfortunately. So let's go back and go to the other one that has an item on it. To add products to your quote, there's a button that would show up here, add products. You can even do, if you allow it, you can do what's called write in products. Those are products that you don't have in your database, but you're allowing your sales team to kind of free form the creation of a product. I guess in some use cases that, is allowable. I don't like that. We don't allow that in our system because we want to go through a proper, vendor process, a proper pricing and costing exercise on products. We also want somebody to manage what's required with the product, right? So is there a go together bundle type item that has to be sold with a product, or that we recommend that you sell, like the product plus the warranty, right? So things like that. I don't usually like letting the sales team kind of freeform products, but there are companies where I've seen that, allowed, and it works for them. I've seen other companies where we've actually built a little product request feature inside Dynamics, where if they get a request for a quote on a product that they don't currently sell, then they make a request to the product team, and the product team goes and sources the product, gets pricing, et cetera, and comes back then to the sales rep and tells them, hey, it's been added to the database. Here's a link to the product. You can now put it on your quote. So a lot of different things there. We're getting into quite a few areas here that, sorry if I'm going in a lot of different directions. But when you add the products to your quote, it will automatically update the quote, the total amount. It also can easily track your cost, total cost of the quote, and it can track the margin on a quote. So let me pause and pull up a different system here and show you a little bit fuller version of a quote here. Okay, this is one of our sandbox systems, and it actually has our own quoting configuration in it. So it's what we use every day. It's just a non-production version of our system. So I can start here on the summary tab, and I can look at a lot of great information. So first of all, what's our profitability? Is it within the range that we want to be? You can do a lot there in the underlying background, like show something in red if it's below the gross margin that you want, et cetera. Shows me my total cost, shows me my total revenue, shows me my gross profit, shows me the sales account manager that is that owns this quote right now. It shows me some nice analysis here of the quote itself. So what's product, what services, for example, and some other ancillary information here. I can go to the activities tab and look at the activities on this particular quote. So is there a follow-up activity? Do you require that there be a follow-up activity on every quote? Not a bad idea, right? So that would be listed here along with any emails that were linked to this quote, any appointments that were scheduled, maybe with the prospect or customer to talk about the quote, general activity management. Then we have our products and services. So this one's already been built out. So when I go into this area, I can sort by any one of these column headings. I can look at, the quantity. I can look at the cost per unit, the extended cost amount. I can look at the price, the extended price. I can go in and set a discount on an item. So we do allow that in our system where I could pull up any one of these items. I could go and set a discount that I would like to offer the customer. And you can have an approval process that's required on discounting if you like as well. So we've configured that for a lot of our clients. So I could easily go in here and set a discount. So maybe on this $49.99, I want to do a $5 discount on that particular item. So I'll go ahead and hit save and close there. And then my quote totals and cost and all that is updated automatically when I save that item with the discount on it. Okay. If I want to add products here to the quote, it's as simple as going over and adding new products. And this is then going to show us our product database. And we have our product database categorized the way that we need it. So we have Dynamics 365 items, we have Power CRM items, we have Microsoft Teams items, we have Office 365, we have service items, et cetera. And then we have a full search bar up here that will let us very easily go and find our item that we want to add to the quote. So over here, you'll see that we have Teams business phone system, right? We were talking about that before. Let's say that the customer wants to buy the Teams business phone capability, the phone system part of Teams. Then I could go over here and I could add, let's say I want to add 25 users licenses of that. I hit add, save the quote, and that will add that item to the quote, update my totals, update my cost, et cetera, and kind of refresh everything since I've added that particular new item to the quote. So that item is right here at the top. Okay. So from here, then we have a quote approval process. This is something we've created in our own system that we could easily create for our customers and have created for our customers. Over here, we go to a quote approval. So I could go submit this for approval. I'm not going to do that because people on my team will start getting notified that they have a quote that they have to come and review and approve. But I would toggle that to yes. I would say, here's the date I need it approved by. I'd put in any notes here. The first level of approval goes to our service delivery lead, and she then is the first one to approve it. And she would either approve it or reject it. And if she rejects it, she'll put in some comments as to why. Maybe there was an item that was forgotten, or maybe there were some services that were left off, whatever that reason be. She can reject it. It notifies the salesperson. They have to then, go address the items that are listed in the rejection notes and then resubmit it for approval. Once the service delivery approval is complete, then it automatically then notifies our head of sales that he has to go and approve the quote. So we have a dual approval level that we require in our system. And the head of sales then would get the notification next. So it's a workflow that we have running in the background that once the service delivery approval happens, then the sales approval needs to happen. So he would then come in here and review and either approve or reject the quote, the same as the service delivery. Right now, they're both say approved, right? And I now have my PandaDoc proposal tab, which we'll talk about here in a second. But if I switch one of these back to, let's say, rejected, notice that tab went away. Okay. Now, as a standard salesperson, I cannot change these fields. I'm a super user, so I can, but the salesperson cannot come in here and just set these to approved, right? So the theory here is that we do not want a proposal sent out to a prospect or customer until things are fully approved. That's why that tab went away. Okay. So let me go back and hit approved here again. That tab now shows up. PandaDoc is a really nice integrated digital or e-sign tool for Dynamics and Power CRM. So it allows you to create templates and then send those out and get electronic signatures. So I'll kind of walk you through that really quickly. It's a phenomenal tool, pretty affordable tool. And we've used it for a number of years. It's what we use to send out our proposals and other types of documents that we need e-signed. So let me go over to the proposal tab. So on the proposal tab, it summarizes my quote here. So what's the gross margin? What's our total cost? What's the amount, et cetera, any discounts. Then over here, I can hit create new document. and it's going to go out and it's going to let me pick the proposal template that I'd like to use for this particular proposal. Okay. So I'm going to go out here, going to go into, let's say, our Power CRM templates. Actually, I have to switch my Panda workspace here. Give me a moment to do that. So now I'll pick the folder. We have our proposal templates organized into folders like Dynamics templates versus Power CRM templates, etc. For this one, I'm going to use our Power CRM templates because it's a Power CRM proposal I'm sending. And from here, I'm going to choose one of my templates. So I just know that the one that I want is this one here. And I'm going to hit add. Going to pick the, I'm the customer contact on this in the background. It's not a real quote. So this would be the customer name and email. And then I would hit continue. And what it does is it merges all of the products and pricing and services pricing from my quote into the template that I have created. So here's our template. It merges in the customer or prospect name, merges in the account manager name from the underlying quote, has a nice table of contents. This is just, it's our template, so yours could look very different. And I could scroll down here, and you can even put things like videos in your proposal. So I could click play here. It would actually play that. So if somebody, wants to see an overview of the Power CRM product that they're hopefully buying, then they can, click play there, and it's a 2-minute video. Talks about the services that are included in this particular onboarding package for Power CRM, project timeline. It has optional items that I can add. So if, let's say I want to add maybe the QuickBooks integration for Power CRM. So if I quoted that, then I would add that item from here, and it would bring in the description of that item into my proposal. So I'm not going to do that. Scroll down. So where I want to get to is the product and service cost. So here again, it merges in some information from the Dynamics quote underlying, and it brings over all of the items that I have on my proposal. So this should be the exact same price and total as I see on my quote in the background. Okay, so it merges those in from your quote in Dynamics 365. Then we have our payment schedule. We have the acceptance, which again is all electronic. When I hit send here, finish document, it will email the customer contact that's listed on the proposal and tell them, hey, Dave Buggy has sent you a proposal for Power CRM onboarding. Click here to review and sign your proposal. And then they, come in and are able to review it and sign it, and then it comes back to us. Really, really just awesome tool for Dynamics. So for here, the terms and conditions, for example, you can lock these so the salesperson can't edit them. So notice I can't edit these, it's locked. So certain areas of the proposal, Panda allows you to lock them and lock that content. So nobody but administrators could change it. So that's the process. In our system, we do sell the PandaDoc product for Dynamics. If you're interested in that, certainly let us know. Again, you can go to our website, stravatechgroup.com, schedule a call on our calendar and talk to one of our experts about all these things that we're looking at today. Even go through a more tailored demo for your individual organization. So you can request that as part of scheduling a phone call on our website as well. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Back into the quote here. The one other thing that I'll show you here is that as your recipient opens that quote, views it, it will update the status here. So it says it's in draft because I have not sent it. Again, it's a demo. But if I did click send on that, it would send an email out to the customer with a link to the quote. Once they open or click on the link, it would say viewed here. Once it would tell you every time they viewed it, it would say viewed 5 times. Once they sign it, then it automatically updates that to completed, and you can have a workflow that notifies the salesperson that their quote was signed. It also can email you, the owner, right? In this case, me, a copy of the signed quote as a PDF, and to the customer as well. It can email them a copy of the signed quote as well. Really, really nice product. Just a phenomenal product that we've used for years. Inexpensive compared to the other e-sign products like Adobe Sign and DocuSign. It's less than half the price. So that's where we're going to end up for today. So we took this from a lead, right, into an opportunity, right? We qualified it, got to an opportunity, we went from an opportunity to a quote. We showed you how we quote. We went from the quote to the proposal through PandaDoc, and hopefully they would sign it and then become a customer. So we covered kind of lead to cash or lead to revenue in the session today. Look for other demos that we have out on our website that you can attend as well. So we have a demo on the marketing integration, the marketing tools for Dynamics. We also have a demo on the customer service module for Dynamics as well. Really powerful customer service functionality. So hopefully you enjoyed the demo and asked any questions. If we didn't get back to you during the session today, we will get back to you by email on the questions. And like I said, if you go out to our website, and I'm going to show that here, it's StravaTechGroup.com. If you go out to our site, you can go right to the homepage and schedule a call with one of our CRM experts. So it'll show you our availability and let you schedule the call right through our online scheduling, and you'll get an email with the calendar invite and the dial-in number and all that information. You'll get an email with all that after you schedule the call. So by all means, go out if you have some questions, you want to talk to us about your individual requirements for CRM, you want to talk about how we can help implement your dynamic system, how we could support it or enhance it, just go to our website and click on this schedule live call or demo. And we will connect one-on-one then and talk further. So thanks a lot for attending. I hope you found this useful, and hope to see you on another demo shortly.